Hi, everybody. Welcome to our essay analysis for MIT Sloan. My name is Liza Weale, and I'm a senior consultant with mbaMission. I'm also an MIT Sloan alum, so I'm delighted to be here today to talk to you about these, quote, essays. And I put that word in quotation marks. I guess I'm being a little cheeky there, but because Sloan really doesn't have those typical essays. And in fact, they only have a few components of their application. Let's talk about what they are, and then we're going to dive into each of them in more detail. The first is the cover letter. You've got an entire 300 words to tell the school about yourself. You've also got a video statement, 1 minute max. And then you've got an optional essay, 200 words or fewer. So I want you to take a second and look at this. 300 words for the essay that everyone's going to submit, and 1 minute video. Most of you will not use the optional essay. So when you think about this in comparison to other applications that give you a lot more words to express who you are, you've got next to no room in Sloan. So you've got to be really strategic when it comes to these application elements. So let's dig into each component in a little bit more detail. First, we're going to talk a little bit about what I say the backdrop for the cover letter. I think Sloan is great in that they give you a lot of, ideas of what you might want to cover in the cover letter with this information. I'm going to take a moment to read it. MIT Sloan seeks students whose personal characteristics demonstrate that they will make the most out of the incredible opportunities at MIT, both academic and non-academic. We are on a quest to find those whose presence will enhance the experience of other students. We seek thoughtful leaders with exceptional intellectual abilities and the drive and determination to put their stamp on the world. We welcome people who are independent, authentic, and fearlessly creative, true doers. We want people who can redefine solutions to conventional problems and strive to preempt unconventional dilemmas with cutting-edge ideas. We demand integrity and respect passion. Okay, so that's who they're looking for, and you've got, again, those 300 words to express yourself. So what do they say? Taking the above into consideration, please submit a cover letter seeking the place in MIT Sloan MBA program. Your cover letter should conform to standard business correspondence. It should include one or more examples that illustrate why you meet the desired criteria above, and it should be addressed to the Assistant Deans of Admissions, Rod Garcia and Donna Levinson. Okay? So what do you do with those 300 words? Well, obviously, with 300 words, you can't say it all. So you really want to think about what things are going to really demonstrate that you have the things that they're looking for. True doers, people who solve problems, people who create change that leave their mark on the world. Those, to me, are sort of where you should start thinking about which accomplishments really show those things. Okay? And maybe it's one story or maybe it's two. 300 words isn't a lot, but if you're careful with it, you can get more than one story in there, more than one example that shows these sides of you. Note that they're looking for some specifics, not broad strokes. Sloan is very interested. They believe that history is the best indicator of what will happen in the future. So in order to let history speak for itself, you want to get specific with those details. You want to share a story. I say the word story because you want to bring that example, that accomplishment that shows who you are to life through vivid specifics, not just broad strokes. I am this kind of person. Instead, share an example that shows that why being this kind of person has driven results. Okay? Ensure that the potential contribution is either implied or potentially explicit. What do I mean? They're trying to determine, based on your values and characteristics and your accomplishments, whether or not you can contribute to the classroom. That doesn't mean you need a sentence in here saying, because of this, I will contribute my viewpoint on XYZ industry to the classmates or to the class. You could instead, because you don't have enough room to do that, you could actually just make sure that your contribution is implied from the stories you share. So again, it's another reason why you need to make sure that you share the stories and you get vivid and specific with them so that they can draw those inferences if you're not explicit about them. If you have room, relate your examples and qualities to the MIT Sloan experience. And I should sort of bold if you have room. If there's not room, don't do this. But it can be something to relate how, you can be explicit about how your experiences might relate to what you know of the program and hammer home the point that you're a great fit for MIT Sloan. Okay? So that's the cover letter. That's it. 300 words, you're done. Then you get another chance to tell them a little bit more. Please take a minute to introduce yourself to your future classmates via video. Include a bit on your past experience and why MIT Sloan is the best place for you to pursue your MBA. Videos should be a single take, no editing, lasting no more than 1 minute and consisting of you speaking directly to the camera. We recommend using applications such as QuickTime or iMovie to record yourself. Okay, guys, one take, no more. Not one take, but no editing, and 1 minute. That's it. So what do you do? Well, a few things. Our advice. This is easy. This should not be stressful. It really, think of it as they just want to see you. They want to see you. They want to get to know you a little bit, okay? This is not a Toastmasters competition. You can have some just like I'm having today as I talk to you. That's natural. That's okay if you're thinking on your feet. They're not looking for robots who get every element of their speech down pat. They want to see you in the moment. That's totally fine. Enjoy it. Consider your audience. Again, look back at the prompt. You are introducing yourself to your future classmates. So imagine what you might say to your future classmates. Be real. And you wouldn't necessarily try to give this long resume if you've got 1 minute to introduce yourself to the person sitting here and sitting here. You might talk about your hobbies, your passions. You might give them a sense of where you've come from and where you want to go. Okay? Keep in mind what the admissions team already knows about you. If you spent a lot of time talking about an accomplishment at your consulting firm when you revamped the mentoring and recruiting process, maybe don't mention it again here in this video, okay? So just be thoughtful. Know you've only got so many times to tell the school something about you, so make sure that they're complementary and additive and not repetitive. Keep it you. Whether or not that's simple or creative. I generally say keep it simple with 1 minute. If you've got a lot of bells and whistles, and what I mean by bells and whistles is maybe you love skydiving, so you want to do your video while jumping out of an airplane. That could definitely work. But at the end of the day, it's the content, not what's going on behind me, that matters. It's the content of what you are communicating. So make sure you're not you're not distracting the audience. And by the way, it is totally normal to just have a camera and talk right into it with a very drab background. That's fine. They still get to see you, and that's what this is all about. And whatever you do, just as I said, keep it you. If you're not someone who gets creative, then don't. And if you're not a skydiver, definitely don't go with that option, right? Keep it you. Don't over-rehearse, but because, again, they don't want to hear a robot, but do speak clearly. And having seen a lot of videos over the years in my role, I've seen where people mumble and they talk really slowly. That's not helping you at all. Speak clearly. Speak loudly, make sure that they understand what you're saying. Otherwise, again, you're missing the opportunity to let them know you, okay? All right, I'm going to mention the optional essay, though I think, 95% of you won't need it, and here's why. Please provide any additional information you would like the admissions committee to know that may be helpful in evaluating your candidacy. So therefore, your choice of recommenders, areas of concern in your academic record, other extenuating circumstances, etc. 200 words or fewer. Let's talk about my advice. So, number one, if you don't have any red flags, you're not using this essay. If you don't have anything you need to explain, you're not using this essay, in which case you can just kind of wait patiently for me to continue. So, but some of you will need this. I want you, first of all, to be judicious. Really think about, okay, do I have this red flag? Is there, and I say a red flag, so it's a blip in your GPA. It's an explanation of your quant skills because your quant on the GMAT's a little low. It's a quick movement at work that doesn't quite make sense. be thoughtful of what you need to explain, but don't try to insert another essay in here. If they wanted to know more, they would ask more essay questions or allow you to submit more videos. I can't stress this enough. This is not now the time to talk about, I don't know, a time you climbed a mountain or something like that. That's not, it will work against you. Use the guidance that they give in crafting and figuring out whether or not you need to use this essay. If you do have sort of that thing, the red flag, so a bad mark in a class or something, address it head on, but without getting defensive or making excuses. Explain what happened. They're human, and they understand, pressures in life or whatnot. So just be matter of fact of what happened, and why you're telling them, basically. And use common sense. The other thing to note about MIT Sloan is that their online answers, the online application that you have to fill out, your past jobs, where you went to college, things like that, it is super small. They basically ask for no additional information, while most of the other schools ask for a significant amount of information in their online application. So what I want you to do is, if there are things that are going to be like, if somebody's reading your online application is going to be like, I don't get that, then just write a very quick sentence explaining it. Maybe your bonus, was halved from year 1 to year 2 because of a reorg that went on in your company. Fine, just explain that. Okay, so anything that they're not going to understand, use common sense and address it. Okay, but as I said, 95% of you won't need this optional essay. All right, guys, that's it. That's a kind of quick skinny on how to handle MIT Sloan's quick skinny essays, if you will. We've got more resources, though, for you. Number one, I would encourage you to check out our written essay analysis for MIT Sloan. MIT Sloan does have one additional essay that you'll be asked to submit if you're invited to interview with them, which I'm hoping all of you are. So check out our written analysis for that when you get to that stage. That'll be right before your interview. Also check out our Insider's Guide on MIT Sloan. That will help you really imagine who you'll be on campus and why you love it, and that might come across in that video of yours. We also have a more extensive optional essay guide to, again, resist temptation to put more in that essay question, and also give you some practical tips on how to handle it. And if you haven't yet, definitely sign up for a free 30-minute consultation with us. It's free. It's 30 minutes for you to use however you see fit. So you can talk. We can discuss your Sloan cover letter. We can discuss what you're thinking about putting into that video. We can discuss whatever else is on your mind. It's a great way to get some answers to pressing questions as you embark on this journey. All right. I wish all of you good luck. I have a soft spot in my heart for MIT Sloan, and I wish you guys just a lot of happiness in this journey. Thanks.